Like a good story? You know what to do. Join the channel as a member, or join the Patreon, or become a goober friend on Ko-Fi. Every option includes an extra exclusive audio every week and lots more rewards. Support the channel and go do the thing. Now back to the audio. Hey, look, I'm back to the land of the living, mostly. Up and not sniffling. I don't know, it makes no sense. I've never been that sick in my life, well, unless you count the tainted blood thing. And that was just weird all around, but not like incapacitating in the long term. Nope, never did. I don't know if anyone else got it, but if they did, it didn't go through the grapevine. I mean, bioweapons are a thing, but if someone wanted to hurt me with a virus, an annoying cold is the saddest thing they could do. Like, go for something lethal, like Ebola or rabies or something. Actually, maybe not rabies. That could take years to actually affect me. That'd be a stupid choice. But still, anything but a cold. No, I think I just got unlucky. It makes sense that the common cold would eventually mutate to include vampires. That little bug is evolving all the time. And it's not like vampires and humans don't have very similar systems. Whatever, I'm not going to stress it unless we have to. Sick is not a problem. Sick is just sick. And now I'm better, so it's even less of a problem. We have bigger problems at the moment. Well, like this. Did you see this? Yeah, I'm trying to do better about checking the mail more often. But look, the registry. They sent back the burned envelope and their report on it. I guess it's good they sent it back. Ew, I forgot how melty it was. Okay, well, let's see what it says. I'm sure they were able to figure something out. This is a whole lot of not helpful. Well, they say it tested negative for any sort of residue that could explain fire or explosions, which we know that already since we specifically kept that part from them. But there's just nothing else. No fingerprints other than ours, no hairs or fibers or anything at all that could indicate who sent it. No flags for magic or anything arcane. The envelope itself is the kind you can buy at any office supply store, literally anywhere. And it's self-adhesive, so no one had to lick it to seal it. God, remember those days, having to lick envelopes and stamps and stuff? That was weird. We were just putting our mouths on everything. I'm getting there. Let me just... Okay, a bit of good news. They were able to piece together the postmark. I guess they're decent at something, some of the time. It looks like it was sent from... Detroit? Detroit. That's... Do we know anyone in Detroit? Not me, and I've been around a while. Wait. No, nothing. Can't think of anyone. You sure you don't have anyone there? No enemies, high school bullies, anything like that? What about within driving distance of there? Like a few hours, even a day away? I figure anyone who wants to hurt us badly enough would be willing to make a pilgrimage. Of course, that still raises more questions about what they wanted to do with the black amber, whether they plan to come get it, or just, like, hurt you with it. None of it makes any sense. Okay, well, if we can't think of anyone we know in Detroit, we're at a bit of a dead end. Unless... Well, we could ask Grandfather. We won't tell him any of the details of this, of course, but we could ask him whether there's someone special in Detroit. Maybe some angry sect of some obscure religion or some distant branch of the family that decided to make trouble. I mean, your angel thing is not a very well-kept secret. It feels like everyone with power knows about it, and that's the problem. They have power. You are power. You see why we threaten a lot of people just by hanging out in our own home and talking to no one. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I'm tired. I'm just so tired. True, still recovering. Stupid vampire-friendly cold bug. You think so? You think it's remotely possible that the rock made me sick? I don't know, it feels like a reach. Sometimes coincidences just happen. I didn't touch it directly, though, just threw the towel in the envelope. Also, again, why would it just give me a cold? That's the lamest thing it could do. It would have been worse if it gave me a leg cramp or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible that it was supposed to make me very sick and make you very weak, but I don't know how it could do both things at once. It's a rock. Even a magic rock or a talisman or an artifact, they're usually limited to one functionality. Like you have a vase that traps ghosts. That's cool, and that's all it does. It doesn't also play the battle hymn of the Republic when the sun goes down, you know? I don't know much about magic things, but I know they're a pain. It takes a lot to turn a regular rock into something powerful, and it would take double the effort to make it trouble for both of us. I think it's more likely I just got sick and now I'm better. Sure, and you're right, it was addressed to both of us, but that doesn't really matter. The point was probably to get it in your hands no matter what. If I'd opened it without you and found the rock, I probably would have been like, oh, hey look, pretty rock, and then handed it to you, and then all hell would have broken loose. As it was, I handed you the envelope, which kicked things off a lot sooner than I bet the sender wanted. We got very lucky. Yeah, it's in the safe, under all the hexes and all the runes, just in case. You think they're listening? I know I joke about it, but I don't think they listen as often as they want us to think they do. It's the Registry. They have other stuff to deal with. Making some poor schmuck sit and listen to us yap and chew all day would be depressing, and probably grounds for a lawsuit. We could test it. You could light the couch on fire again. I could yell for help. We could see what happens. I'm joking, but enough stalling. We need to call Grandfather. Again. Yeah, he's gonna start thinking I like him or something. Perish the thought. Hang on. It's ringing. Grandfather, hello, how are you? I'm well, I'm feeling much better. Still not pregnant, before you ask. I know how you are. Listen, this isn't a social call. I have a question. Do we know anyone in Detroit? Let me rephrase. Is there anyone in Detroit, or near it, I guess, who has a connection to us or who might have a bone to pick with us? Any, person or religious organization or anti-vampire league or something? You don't need to know the specifics. Just know that we were sent something from Detroit that we think was intended to harm us. We're okay, no one's hurt, and the registry looked into it, but the only thing they could tell us is that it came from Detroit. Just an envelope in the regular mail, like a padded envelope. No runes or sigils or residue or magic dust or anything. They checked very thoroughly, not even a fingerprint. You don't need to check it, though. But you don't, though. Look, do we know anyone in Detroit or not? Or is there someone or something there that might kinda hate us? Okay. Probably not that then. Sounds like they have other problems. Would someone drive all the way from St. Louis? How long is that drive? I don't know, it feels like a lot of work, but I guess if it meant that much to them. Nothing else? No one of interest? What do you mean, back when? Oh, back before, yeah, during the integration. Interesting, but that wouldn't matter now, right? Right, because they're all gone. They are all gone, right, Grandfather? Well, that surprises me exactly zero. Why is it always intrigue and backroom deals with you? Well, then explain it. Suspicions of what? Okay, but you need to tell me. Yes, you do, because it involves us. Someone wanted to hurt us, maybe worse than that. We didn't get hurt, but we might not be so lucky next time. So what do you know, or think you know? But, okay, how about this? We'll bring you the envelope. You can check it out to your heart's content. Maybe put your whole research team on it. But in return, you need to tell us what you think is happening. All of it. Deal? Good. How's this afternoon look for you? Perfect. We'll leave here soon. What? Oh, sure, we can stop and pick some up. Okay. Bye, Grandfather. Well, So he doesn't know of any cults or sects or problematic groups around Detroit. There's a distant cousin of ours that kinda sucks, but he lives in St. Louis and probably isn't motivated enough to drive to Detroit. Well, that's the thing. You know how back in the day during the integration, there were those incidents? Some dust-ups, a little conflict. You read about it in school, right? Right. I mean, anytime you're trying to peacefully combine two groups that have been killing each other for centuries, there's going to be some pain points, quite literally. What you probably don't know much about, what was sort of swept under the rug, is that part of that process included dealing with some problematic families, vampire families. Think about it. Not every vampire was on board with the integration plan, and some of the resistors were fairly powerful families, so they were erased, more or less. Yeah. And again, this isn't common knowledge. I only know about it because Grandfather made sure I knew about it. He takes the history of our people very seriously. But he also said not to talk about it. It's not a good subject for polite company. For better or worse, he benefits from the system that's set up right now. He played the game, and he played it really well. He still plays it. He knows when to get involved and when to stay quiet. It's kept him alive this long. But when there were other families making threats and trying to start their own factions to derail the integration plan, they had to be dealt with. And they were. I mean, you can think of them as crime families, really. They were not good people. One family I heard about was apparently running an underground breeding program of humans. Yeah, enslaving and breeding humans for feeding stock. They made a fortune on it. That sort of thing, you can't really forgive it. People like that always target those who won't be missed. The poor, the homeless, sex workers, people without ties. It's surprisingly easy, and it needed to be shut down. So a plan was created, Operation Sunbeam. I know it's a silly name, but as they say, sunlight is the strongest disinfectant. Anyway, they went and systematically wiped out the families who were making trouble, one after another, quick and surgical. It was all managed. The public didn't know any better. In one case, it looked like a house fire that got out of control and killed everyone. In another case, the family just vanished, and there was a note saying they'd moved overseas. No one really followed up. A third family, there was a lot of partying, so it wasn't too hard to stage a massive OD situation. Say the stuff was tainted, badly enough to harm vampires. Each story was plausible enough, and again, these weren't good people. No one liked them, except those who made money off them. And when they disappeared, the hangers-on who were smart enough saw the writing on the wall and scattered. Plenty of other trouble to get into, you know? Yeah, it took a long time to clean up the messes those families made, but eventually it was all handled, and the resistance to integration was pretty much gone. Oh, I'm sure. I bet a lot of people figured out what was really happening. I mean, a bunch of very bad vampires are making trouble and then suddenly they all just go away? Nothing sus about that. But again, it was a net positive. No one was going to say, hang on, did the government kill those families? No one missed them. Yeah, so that's a history that isn't really taught. It makes people uncomfortable to think about the government targeting its own, and honestly, I get it. As awful as those people were, they were still people. They should have been dealt with under the law. But there wasn't time for that, and decisions were made, and please don't repeat this to anyone, okay? It's a bit of a dark time in our history. Both of our histories, if I'm honest. Right, Detroit. So Grandfather reminded me that one of those families lived in Detroit, more or less made it their kingdom, right up until they were wiped out. That one was the fire, burned the house to the ground and everyone in it. I don't know if it's at all relevant, that's the thing, it might not be. Detroit's a city, lots of people live there. The erasure of that family was a long time ago. And even if, say, someone survived that, some random family member got away, there's no reason to think they'd come for us. Not after all this time. And especially not you. Like, why try to hurt you? Grandfather was involved with Operation Sunbeam, but I don't know in what capacity. He never told me, and I definitely didn't want to know. But again, that has nothing to do with you. Think about it. If someone survived and wanted revenge, they'd have to know Grandfather was involved. They'd have to wait actual decades to make their move. They'd have to know I'm his granddaughter. They'd have to know where you and I live. They'd have to know about the angel thing and the amber and the black amber, and they'd have to decide to target us instead of just going after the old man directly. It's convoluted to the point of farce. I'm not buying it. Well, I suppose that's true to a point. Like I said, it's not really a secret among those with power. The council knows about your angel thing, but most people don't. Regular people don't know anything about this, about us and what we've been through, and that includes regular vampires. It's not like a vampire can just walk into the council and start rummaging through the records without permission. You can't just do that. No one can just access our files and see what our story is. They'd need someone to help them, if they even knew to look in the first place. Which, again, shouldn't be a thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think the Detroit thing has anything to do with that vampire family. They were killed off 100 years ago. It's much more likely that something else is going on. Maybe a new cult or club or something that has just enough knowledge to be dangerous. Something like with your parents, only, worse. I mean, I certainly hope not. Either way, there's a lot here to unravel, and we don't have what we need to do it. Yeah, we'll go see Grandfather. Maybe his team can figure something out. He certainly pays them enough to do that. Oh man, it's a lucky gig being on his research team. Those guys make great money. Hey, having a wealthy and paranoid boss is a strat. Maybe we should get jobs there. I'm kidding. Oh my god, I will not be working for Grandfather. Not ever. And neither will you. Good. Okay then, time's a-wasting. Let's head his way. See if we can't get some answers about whatever someone's trying to do to us. Oh, but we need to make one stop along the way. You know that bakery down the street? He wants some donuts. Who can say? Grandfather likes the donuts. This audio was brought to you by Sweetness patron Torque Starchild and the patrons and channel members who make it possible. If you enjoy the content that I write, record, and produce, help me keep doing it by clicking subscribe, leaving a comment, listening to more audios to appease the mighty algorithm, or joining my awesome community. I'm not kidding, it's a great place. Come join my domain, and thank you for helping me tell the stories that you like to hear.